Welcome to Global Byte. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Tonight, we examine the Gordie Howe International Bridge, a new link between Windsor and Detroit, and a project that has captured the attention of two nations. Stretching across the Detroit River, this bridge is more than just a feat of engineering. It's a testament to decades of negotiation, planning, and the ever-evolving relationship between Canada and the United States. It stands as a symbol of both partnership and tension, reflecting the complex ties that bind these neighboring countries. The bridge's very existence is a reminder of how closely our economies, cultures, and communities are intertwined, even as political winds shift. The Gordie Howe Bridge was conceived to relieve the chronic bottleneck of the aging Ambassador Bridge, which for years has struggled to handle the immense flow of goods and people. This corridor is the busiest trade route in North America, with billions of dollars in goods crossing every week. The new bridge was designed to secure the future of this vital artery, promising smoother transit and greater economic opportunity for both sides. Yet, what was once hailed as a beacon of cross-border cooperation now finds itself at the center of a growing trade war. President Trump's threat of a 100% tariff on Canadian goods has cast a long shadow over the bridge's opening, turning a symbol of unity into a flashpoint for economic conflict. The stakes are high, and the uncertainty is palpable on both sides of the river. The bridge, meticulously designed to facilitate commerce and strengthen ties, now faces the grim possibility of overlooking empty lanes and silent checkpoints. If political hostilities escalate and trade grinds to a halt, the very purpose of this massive investment could be called into question, leaving communities and businesses in limbo. The story of the Gordie Howe Bridge is, in part, a story of Canadian foresight, of leaders and planners who saw the need for resilient infrastructure to support future generations. It's a testament to vision, perseverance, and the belief that bridges can unite more than just land masses. But it's also a story of a partnership now under severe strain. Diplomatic meetings have grown tense, and gestures, once friendly, now seem uncertain. The bridge, once a promise of shared prosperity, is now a stage for disagreement and suspicion. As we stand on the brink of its grand opening, the Gordie Howe Bridge emerges as a concrete symbol of both hope and uncertainty. For some, it represents a new era of opportunity. For others, it's a stark reminder of how quickly alliances can be tested. The very foundation of the Canada-US relationship is being tested as never before. Headlines speak of rifts and disagreements, while ordinary citizens on both sides wonder what the future holds for their jobs, families, and communities. The Gordie Howe Bridge is no longer just a crossing, it's become a battleground for the future of North American trade, a structure where the hopes, fears, and ambitions of two nations now converge. As the world watches, the next chapter in this cross-border saga is about to unfold. The Windsor-Detroit corridor is North America's most critical trade artery, with a quarter of all Canada-US merchandise crossing here. For decades, the privately owned Ambassador Bridge was a single point of failure, an aging, congested bottleneck. The risk was clear. One incident could paralyze the continent's supply chains, especially in the auto sector. Business and government leaders demanded a modern, publicly owned crossing to secure economic sovereignty. The Gordie Howe Bridge was designed to speed up trade, with advanced customs and dedicated commercial lanes. This wasn't just about capacity, it was about national security and future-proofing our economy. Years of delays only heightened the urgency. For Canada, building this bridge became a non-negotiable act to protect our prosperity. For years, the United States hesitated, unable to move forward on a new border crossing. Frustrated by the endless delays and recognizing the critical importance of this trade route, Canada made a bold and unprecedented decision. It would fund the entire Gordie Howe International Bridge project itself, taking on the full financial risk and responsibility. This commitment included not just the bridge, but also the construction of the U.S. Customs Plaza, an extraordinary move, as it meant Canada was paying for infrastructure on American soil. Ottawa's calculation was straightforward: the economic cost of inaction, of risking trade bottlenecks and lost opportunities, far outweighed the $4.8 billion price tag. The government saw the bridge as an investment in the future of Canadian trade and prosperity. By paying up front, Canada guaranteed the project's completion, sidestepping years of political gridlock and ensuring that Canadian businesses would maintain reliable access to the vast U.S. market. Over time, tolls collected from vehicles crossing the bridge are expected to gradually recoup the investment. But for Canada, the true return isn't just financial. It's the economic security and stability that comes from keeping trade flowing smoothly. Business leaders and trade experts hailed the move as a masterstroke. By breaking the deadlock, Canada not only built a vital piece of infrastructure, but also demonstrated leadership and vision on the world stage. In today's climate of rising protectionism, trade disputes, and shifting political winds, such a deal would be nearly impossible to negotiate. The willingness to act decisively set Canada apart. Looking back, Canada's 2017 decision appears even more visionary. It guaranteed a vital trade link, one that would remain open and reliable regardless of changes in U.S. politics or policy. Today, the Gordie Howe Bridge stands as a Canadian-funded gateway into the American economy, a symbol of determination and foresight. It's a long-term bet on the enduring importance of cross-border trade, a testament to Canada's commitment to its economic future and its partnership with the United States. As the bridge nears completion, a new crisis erupts. President Trump threatens a 100% tariff on all Canadian goods. The trigger, Prime Minister Carney's recent trade agreement with China, which Washington claims could let Chinese goods bypass U.S. tariffs. This is a dramatic escalation, putting vast sectors of Canada's economy at risk. The timing is volatile, with a USMCA review looming and Trump dismissing the agreement as potentially irrelevant. The accusation: Canada could become a drop-off port for Chinese products. Carney rejects the claim, but the threat is real, turning a diplomatic spat into an economic crisis. Canadian businesses and workers now face unprecedented uncertainty. The bridge, built for trade, could soon span a chasm of political hostility. At the heart of the current dispute lies Mark Carney's bold new trade deal with China, a targeted agreement designed to open up vast Chinese markets for Canadian goods, from natural resources to advanced technology. For Carney, this is more than just a trade pact. It's a strategic pivot, a calculated move to reduce Canada's overwhelming reliance on the United States and to secure new opportunities for Canadian businesses in the world's fastest-growing economy. The deal is seen by many as a potential game-changer, promising to boost Canadian exports and create jobs at home. Initially, Washington seemed to accept the agreement with cautious optimism, but President Trump quickly reversed course. He began framing the deal as a direct threat to U.S. economic security, warning that it could undermine American jobs and manufacturing. The White House's rhetoric grew sharper, and soon, headlines across North America were filled with talk of escalating trade tensions and potential retaliation. The core fear in Washington is that Chinese goods could be relabeled as Canadian, then shipped south across the border, effectively evading U.S. tariffs. This loophole, critics argue, could flood the American market with cheap imports, threatening domestic industries and jobs. U.S. officials have called for stricter border inspections and even floated the idea of new tariffs on Canadian goods. For decades, Canada's long-standing goal has been to diversify its trade partners, reducing its economic dependence on the U.S., but antagonizing our largest export market is a high-stakes gamble. Nearly 3/4 of Canadian exports still flow south, and any disruption could have immediate, far-reaching consequences for workers, businesses, and entire communities across the country. Carney's government now finds itself walking a diplomatic tightrope, defending Canada's right to pursue an independent trade policy, while also working tirelessly to avoid a full-blown trade war with our closest ally. Behind closed doors, Canadian diplomats are engaged in intense negotiations, seeking to reassure Washington and protect Canadian interests. The stakes could not be higher. Can Canada assert its sovereignty and chart its own economic future, or will the pressure from the U.S. force a retreat? The outcome will shape not only our economy, but also our national identity and place in the world. Carney is urging Canadians to rally behind domestic industries, emphasizing the need for unity and resilience. Yet behind the scenes, frantic diplomacy and high-stakes negotiations are underway, as officials scramble to find common ground and prevent a crisis. The decisions made in the coming weeks will define Canada-U.S. relations for years to come, setting the tone for future cooperation or conflict between the two nations. As the debate rages on, the future of the bridge, both literal and symbolic, between Canada and its most important partners, hangs in the balance. The tariff threat has sent shockwaves through Canada's economy, from auto plants to grocery stores. The auto industry, built on cross-border supply chains, would be devastated, tens of thousands of jobs at risk. Agriculture would suffer, and U.S. consumers would see prices soar on Canadian staples. The economic fabric woven by decades of free trade could unravel overnight. Even before this, U.S. businesses were already struggling with Trump's broader tariff regime. Industry leaders call the situation chaos, with no way to plan or invest. The Gordie Howe Bridge, built to streamline trade, now stands as a stark reminder of what's at stake. If tariffs hit, its 6 lanes could fall silent. The logic of free trade is under siege. Business leaders across North America are alarmed by the escalating trade dispute. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce and U.S. industry groups warn that uncertainty is toxic for investment and jobs. The auto sector, in particular, pleads for relief and stability, fearing permanent disruption. Tariffs, they argue, are a tax on consumers and a blow to North American competitiveness. The Gordie Howe Bridge was meant to enhance integration, not witness its unraveling. Experts warn that using tariffs against Canada, America's closest ally, is self-defeating. The focus has shifted from win-win solutions to zero-sum politics. The risk, a mutually beneficial economic ecosystem, could be torn apart. The USMCA review in July 2026 was meant to be routine, but now it's a flashpoint. Trump's team may use it to push for a renegotiation, targeting trade loopholes for Chinese goods. Canada's recent China deal will be under intense scrutiny, with U.S. negotiators demanding tighter controls. Ottawa must defend its trade policies while preserving the USMCA, the backbone of our economic relationship. North American unity is being tested as Mexico and Canada try to coordinate under U.S. pressure. The outcome will shape the future of continental trade, stability, or deeper uncertainty. The Gordie Howe Bridge, opening just before the review, is a constant reminder of the stakes. It was built on the promise of stable trade, a promise now in jeopardy. The next few months will be decisive. The Gordie Howe Bridge is more than steel and concrete. It's a statement of Canadian resolve. By building it alone, Canada showed it won't let vital trade be hostage to politics. Now, as tariffs and rhetoric threaten the Canada-US partnership, the bridge stands as both a warning and a hope. The coming months will test our leaders and our economic future. The bridge's fate will reflect the health of North American cooperation. Will it thrive as an artery of prosperity or become a monument to division? One thing is clear. This link is too important to fail. The story of the Gordie Howe Bridge is the story of Canada's determination in an uncertain world.